Across America, something strange is happening on dealership lots, and it is not just about high inventory or slowing demand. It is in full-on panic mode. Sales managers are slashing prices, offering unheard-of incentives, and even begging buyers to take home certain pickup trucks they simply cannot move. But these are not outdated clunkers or bottom-tier models. Some are high-powered, well-reviewed trucks that should be flying off the lot. So why are they not? And why are dealers practically giving them away? In this countdown, we are revealing the 7 pickup truck models that are creating chaos on dealership floors. It was the kind of vehicle that blended utility with refinement, rugged when it needed to be, but always composed. Unfortunately, that reputation has taken a hard turn. Ram 1500. Truck enthusiasts praise this truck's coil spring rear suspension, plush cabin finishes, and smooth highway ride. Today, the Ram 1500 is piling up on dealership lots across the United States, and the situation has escalated into a full-blown inventory crisis. It all started with a critical strategic misstep in the aftermath of the global health crisis of the year 2020. Like most automakers, Ram, under its parent company Stellantis North America, saw a surge in demand once the economy reopened. Consumers, flush with stimulus money and looking to escape lockdown life, went on a vehicle buying spree. Trucks were flying off the lots, and executives believed the trend would stick around. They assumed America's love affair with pickups would only deepen in the years to come, so they ramped up production to match the boom. But that assumption was dead wrong. As the dust settled and economic conditions normalized, reality set in. Interest rates began to climb throughout the year 2023. Inflation hit household budgets hard, and financing a new full-size pickup became a tough sell. Consumers began tightening their wallet, holding on to older vehicles longer, and avoiding large monthly payments. Meanwhile, Ram's factories were still operating at near-peak capacity, pumping out new trucks at a pace the market could no longer absorb. By early 2024, the consequences became painfully clear. Dealerships across the country were drowning in unsold inventory. According to data from leading industry inventory trackers, the Ram 1500 currently has approximately 179 days worth of supply just sitting idle on dealer lots. To put that into perspective, a 60-day supply is considered healthy in the automotive world. Anything above 90 days is a warning. Crossing 170 days? That is a full-blown alarm bell ringing across the dealership network. The excess inventory has created a domino effect. Not only are unsold trucks tying up cash flow and floor space, but they are also clogging up the pipeline for newer models. Many dealers physically do not have room to accept the next model year's deliveries. In the meantime, these idle trucks are quietly depreciating. Each one costs the dealership money in floor plan financing fees, lot maintenance, insurance coverage, and marketing expenses. Some lots have become so jam-packed that trucks are parked bumper to bumper in rows, with little customer foot traffic to even justify the visual clutter. Ram's sluggish response only made things worse. While competitors like Ford Motor Company and General Motors Company pivoted quickly to offer deep discounts, low-interest financing, and loyalty rebates, Ram initially held the line. Their strategy? Hold firm on pricing and wait for buyers to return. But the buyers never came. That stubbornness did not last forever. As inventory reached a tipping point, Ram dealerships had no choice but to act. In recent months, they have started offering more aggressive deals to bring in buyers. In select markets, shoppers are now seeing cashback offers, longer loan terms, loyalty discounts, and even dealer-exclusive packages. High-end trims like the Laramie, Longhorn, and Limited are being sweetened with bonus features or outright markdowns that would have been unthinkable just a year ago. But even with these incentives, Ram's offers are still lagging behind what competitors are doing in many key regions. Still, there may be a silver lining, for buyers at least. As desperation sets in, the Ram 1500 is rapidly becoming one of the most competitively priced full-size pickups on the market. Savvy shoppers who do their research and negotiate well could walk away with a serious deal. We are talking thousands of dollars in savings, plus bonus equipment and extended warranty coverage in some cases. But make no mistake, this is not generosity. It is a panic-driven move to unload an inventory glut that has no easy fix. And while Ram was caught off guard by market shifts, the next truck on our list faced a completely different problem. It failed to deliver on its all-electric promise. Ford F-150 Lightning. Announced with great fanfare in the year 2021, it was marketed as the perfect fusion of legacy and innovation. a full-size pickup truck that retained the rugged DNA of the Ford F-Series while ushering in a new era of electric performance, with promises of massive torque, silent acceleration, and even backup power capabilities for homes. It seemed destined to dominate the electric vehicle space. However, just a few short years later, the reality on dealership lots tells a very different story. Across the United States, the Ford F-150 Lightning is piling up. Inventory levels are climbing, and dealers are having a hard time moving units, even with deep discounts and aggressive incentives. Despite the technological marvel it represents, the Lightning has become a cautionary tale of what happens when hype outpaces usability in the real world. For all its futuristic features, the truck struggles to meet the expectations of the traditional truck-buying audience. One of the biggest issues is range. On paper, the Ford F-150 Lightning offers competitive driving range estimates, especially when equipped with the extended range battery pack. However, the situation changes drastically under real-world conditions. Owners report that when the truck is used for typical pickup tasks, such as towing trailers, hauling heavy loads, or even driving at highway speeds, the range can drop dramatically. In some towing scenarios, range has been observed to decrease by as much as 50%. This type of performance gap creates a serious problem for buyers who rely on their truck for consistent, long-distance use. Truck owners are accustomed to predictability. They expect that when the fuel gauge says full, they can drive hundreds of miles without issue, even with cargo or a trailer in tow. Electric vehicles, however, introduce range anxiety into the equation, especially in colder climates or in rural areas where charging infrastructure is sparse. The Ford F-150 Lightning, despite its innovative image, has struggled to overcome that perception. Another core challenge is the price point. The Ford F-150 Lightning is not a budget truck. In fact, higher trims can exceed $100,000 US when fully loaded. Even base models push past $50,000 US before destination fees, taxes, and options. For many consumers, especially those seeking work-ready trucks or fleet editions, this price tag is simply too high. Government rebates and state-level incentives help to reduce the final cost somewhat, but not enough to sway skeptical buyers. To make matters worse, the Ford Motor Company is reportedly losing more than $22,500 on every single Lightning unit sold. That is not an error. That is a documented financial loss per vehicle. The combination of high production costs, battery supply constraints, and weak retail performance has turned the Lightning into a money-losing proposition for one of the largest automakers in the world. In response, Ford has even offered cash incentives to dealers just to take these trucks off their hands. Some dealerships, however, are refusing, despite corporate subsidies and pressure to move electric vehicles. A growing number of Ford dealers are pushing back. They cite low customer interest, long charging times, complex tax credit explanations, and concerns over future resale value. Many buyers are already aware that electric vehicle prices have been falling across the board, which further devalues their investment and sours long-term ownership appeal. The resale value of electric trucks is also causing major concerns. With more electric vehicles entering the used market and newer, cheaper models being announced, the Lightning is losing its edge. Buyers fear that today's $100,000 truck could be worth far less in just 2 or 3 years. That fear of accelerated depreciation has only intensified the hesitation around purchasing. Despite all this, dealers are trying. Across the country, massive markdowns, 0% interest financing, extended warranties, and cashback offers are flooding local advertising channels. Yet even with those perks, many Lightnings remain unsold. The appeal of futuristic tech cannot mask the reality that the Ford F-150 Lightning is not meeting the practical needs of the average truck buyer. Now, from too much tech to not enough evolution, let's talk about the truck that refused to change with the times and paid the price. Chevrolet Silverado 1500, known for its tough frame, dependable performance, and a wide range of trims tailored to everyone from contractors to commuters. The Silverado built a strong reputation over decades. It became a go-to option for buyers who wanted a full-size pickup that could handle daily work demands without stepping into luxury truck pricing. But today, that once-trusted workhorse is falling behind. Dealerships across the United States are now sitting on a massive backlog of Silverado 1500 trucks, and buyers are looking elsewhere. The reason? A mix of outdated design, stale technology, and lackluster innovation. the current generation Chevrolet Silverado 1500 was last fully redesigned in the year 2019. At the time, it introduced a bolder look, improved powertrain options, and an expanded trim lineup. But in the fast-moving world of truck design, a 5-year-old platform now feels dated. Competing models from Ford Motor Company and Stellantis North America's Ram brand have received significant upgrades in recent years, offering buyers fresh styling, more refined interiors, and cutting-edge technology. Meanwhile, the Silverado has remained largely the same. Step inside the cabin of a 2024 Silverado 1500, and the age begins to show. The dashboard layout still features hard plastics, a relatively small touchscreen, and outdated button configurations. Compared to the near-luxury interiors of the Ram 1500 or the tech-laden setup inside the Ford F-150, the Silverado's cabin feels bare-bones. Consumers today expect large infotainment displays, soft-touch materials, and seamless smartphone integration. The Silverado checks those boxes in theory, but not at the same level as its rivals. Performance-wise, the Chevrolet Silverado 1500 does deliver solid towing and payload capacity, but again, it does not lead in any specific category. Certain Ford F-Series configurations offer best-in-class towing figures, while Ram continues to earn praise for its smooth ride quality and upscale driving dynamics. The Silverado is capable, but it is not exceptional. That makes it hard to justify for buyers who are comparing trucks side by side. Fuel efficiency is another area where the Silverado struggles. With gas prices fluctuating and hybrid options becoming more popular, buyers are looking for ways to save at the pump. Ford's hybrid powertrains and Ram's e-torque system have generated interest. Chevrolet, meanwhile, has not made major strides in fuel-saving technologies for its core truck lineup. The result of all these shortcomings is a growing inventory problem. According to multiple industry reports, dealerships across the country are currently sitting on well over 100,000 units of unsold Chevrolet Silverado 1500 models. That is an enormous figure, especially considering how quickly these trucks used to move just a few years ago. A healthy inventory benchmark is generally considered to be 60 days worth of supply. Anything beyond 90 days raises alarms. While the exact day supply figure fluctuates by region and trim level, the fact remains dealers are overstocked and they are getting nervous. To address the situation, General Motors Company and its dealer network have begun offering significant incentives. In many markets, Chevrolet Silverado 1500 models are being marked down by as much as $5,000 United States dollars below the manufacturer's suggested retail price. Some dealers are stacking cashback offers with low-interest financing or enhanced trade-in bonuses. These are not small, limited-time promotions. They are becoming standard in a growing number of regions, as dealerships struggle to clear space on their lots. The discounts may be appealing, but they also reflect the Silverado's slipping position in the market. Buyers are questioning why such deep markdowns are necessary, and when they step into a showroom and see the dated interior or compare towing numbers to competitors, the answer becomes obvious. The Silverado is no longer the well-rounded contender it once was. It is a solid truck that has been left behind by bolder, more responsive competitors. Unless General Motors Company takes significant steps to modernize the platform and interior experience, the Silverado 1500 may continue to be viewed as a second-tier option in the full-size pickup segment. But while Chevrolet's problems are rooted in old habits, the next truck failed because it just never found its identity in the first place. Nissan Titan. This truck was introduced with a clear mission: to break into the full-size pickup truck segment that has long been dominated by three legacy American automakers: Ford Motor Company, General Motors Company, and Stellantis North America. At first glance, the Titan seemed to have the tools to compete. It came equipped with a powerful 8-cylinder engine, boasted solid towing capacity, and featured a bold, aggressive exterior design that aimed to appeal to traditional truck buyers. Yet, despite those advantages, the Nissan Titan never found its footing in the United States market, and now, even after being officially discontinued, it is still sitting unsold on dealership lots across the country. The most recent generation of the Titan was powered by a robust 5.6-liter 8-cylinder engine. delivering 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. On paper, that put it in the same league as its American counterparts. It had the muscle to haul trailers, towboats, and manage demanding job site tasks. It even came standard with a capable drivetrain and a relatively smooth ride for a full-size truck. But while the Nissan Titan checked many boxes, it failed in one critical area. It never offered a compelling reason for buyers to choose it over more established rivals. In a segment as cutthroat as full-size pickups, being competent is not enough. Buyers are loyal, informed, and highly selective. The Ford F-150 leads with class-defining towing and payload numbers. The Ram 1500 attracts buyers with its refined interior and smooth ride. The Chevrolet Silverado 1500 offers multiple trims and configurations for nearly every kind of use case. Meanwhile, the Nissan Titan found itself stuck in the middle, offering decent performance and features, but nothing that clearly set it apart. It was not the most affordable. It was not the most luxurious. It was not the most efficient. As a result, it became a textbook case of the jack of all trades, master of none. The situation worsened when Nissan Motor Company announced the Titan's discontinuation. The decision was driven by years of underwhelming sales figures and a strategic pivot away from the highly competitive full-size truck space. Production of the Titan officially ceased in the year 2023. Yet, despite the end of manufacturing, an alarming number of unsold units remain in inventory across the United States. According to recent inventory reports, dealers are still sitting on an estimated 150 days worth of unsold Nissan Titan trucks. That number is staggering, particularly for a model that is no longer being produced. Discontinued models almost always suffer in the resale market, and the Titan is no exception. Truck buyers tend to place a high value on long-term serviceability, parts availability, and trade-in potential. With the Titan officially out of production, many potential buyers worry about the future costs of ownership. Will parts be readily available in 5 years? Will dealership service centers still support the model at full capacity? Will the truck retain any reasonable trade-in value? These questions have led to widespread consumer hesitation, even in the face of aggressive pricing strategies. To move this mounting inventory, dealerships have begun rolling out major discounts and incentive packages. In many cases, buyers can find Titans listed well below the manufacturer's suggested retail price. Cashback offers of several thousand United States dollars are now common. Some dealers are pairing those offers with extended term financing, low or 0% interest rates for qualified buyers, and additional warranty packages to ease concerns about long-term support. Despite these efforts, many of the trucks remain unsold, collecting dust on backlots or showroom floors. The core issue is that the Nissan Titan has become a symbol of uncertainty in a market where buyers crave dependability and clarity. Even at a discount, many shoppers would rather purchase a vehicle from a brand they know will stand behind it for years to come. The emotional investment in a full-size truck, whether for work, recreation, or both, means that buyers are looking for more than just horsepower and towing specs. They want confidence, they want legacy. And sadly for the Titan, that is something it could never truly deliver. Speaking of trucks with no clear niche, the next one tried to be a luxury rig without offering anything new under the hood. GMC Sierra 1500. Built on the same platform, using the same engines, same chassis, and nearly identical performance specs, the Sierra aimed to carve out a premium niche. It offered chrome accents, a bolder front fascia, more luxurious interior options, and exclusive trims like the Denali to justify its elevated price tag. For years, it worked. Buyers seeking a full-size pickup truck with a more sophisticated look gravitated toward the Sierra as a status symbol that still retained truck functionality. But in the year 2025, the illusion is wearing thin. Dealerships across the United States are reporting massive backlogs of unsold Sierra 1500 models. According to the latest inventory estimates, more than 50,000 units are currently sitting idle on dealership lots. That translates to well over 116 days worth of supply, nearly double the industry benchmark of 60 days. This is a clear indication that the Sierra is not just moving slowly, it is actively being rejected by buyers. The issue comes down to value perception. When potential customers walk into a showroom and see a Sierra 1500 parked next to a similarly equipped Chevrolet Silverado 1500, the price difference is hard to ignore. In many cases, the Sierra carries a premium of more than 5,000 United States dollars, despite offering nearly identical capabilities. The engines are the same, the towing numbers are the same, the payload figures are the same. Aside from cosmetic changes and a few trim-specific features, the two trucks perform almost identically in the real world. Buyers have taken notice. Increasingly, they are asking the question, why pay more for a truck that does not deliver more? In an economy where every dollar matters, especially with rising interest rates and tighter loan approvals, consumers are becoming more discerning. The luxury badge and fancy grille are not enough anymore. People want clear, tangible value for their money, and the Sierra 1500 is struggling to deliver that. Dealers are responding with urgency. In an attempt to move stagnant inventory, many are now offering aggressive incentives, particularly on higher-end trims like the Denali and AT4. These incentives include cashback rebates, 0% interest financing for well-qualified buyers, and bundled packages that throw in extended warranties or maintenance plans. Despite these efforts, Sierra models continue to collect dust on lots from California to Florida. The core problem remains unsolved. The truck costs too much for what it actually offers. It is worth noting that General Motors Company has not meaningfully updated the Sierra 1500's platform in several years. The last major redesign took place in the year 2019, making the current model over 5 years old. That gap in innovation is significant in the ultra-competitive pickup segment, where rivals like Ford Motor Company and Stellantis North America are rolling out new features annually. The Ram 1500 boasts a class-leading interior. The Ford F-150 offers advanced hybrid options and superior towing systems. Meanwhile, the Sierra 1500 is coasting on a platform that is beginning to show its age. Inside the cabin, the story is much the same. While the Denali trim offers stitched leather and real wood accents, lower trims still suffer from hard plastics, outdated interfaces, and small touchscreen displays. In comparison to newer rivals, even the Sierra's most luxurious offerings feel like they are a half step behind. Add in the fact that most of its luxury features are now available on mid-level Silverado trims at a lower price, and the Sierra's value proposition begins to crumble. To make matters worse, resale value has also started to decline, with incentives stacking up and depreciation accelerating. Many buyers are hesitant to commit to a Sierra 1500, knowing it may be worth significantly less in just a few years. Leasing options are becoming more popular, but even those come with higher than expected monthly payments due to the truck's inflated sticker price. Now from luxury confusion to mid-size mayhem, because the next truck looked great on the trail but could not cut it in the driveway. Jeep Gladiator. This truck took the legendary off-road capability and rugged design of the Jeep Wrangler and added the practicality of a pickup bed. On paper, this looked like a winning formula. For outdoor enthusiasts, overlanders, and adventure seekers, it promised the best of both worlds. A vehicle that could tow, haul, climb rocks, and carry camping gear in the same package. But in practice, the Jeep Gladiator has struggled to find its footing, and now it is one of the most stagnant trucks on dealership lots across the United States. At launch, the Jeep Gladiator turned heads. Its removable doors and roof, solid front and rear axles, and high ground clearance made it an instant favorite among off-road purists. Jeep even positioned the Gladiator as a lifestyle truck, one that was unapologetically bold, uniquely styled, and trail-ready right from the factory. However, that niche appeal came with major trade-offs. Most buyers in the mid-size pickup truck segment are not looking for a weekend rock crawler. They are looking for daily drivability, ride comfort, fuel efficiency, and a reasonable price. And in almost every one of those categories, the Jeep Gladiator falls short. The ride quality of the Jeep Gladiator is one of its most criticized aspects. Unlike other mid-sized trucks that use independent front suspensions and tuned chassis for daily driving, the Gladiator retains the solid axle configuration from the Wrangler. That setup delivers superior articulation and ruggedness off-road, but it compromises on-road performance. The result is a bouncy, vague, and often uncomfortable driving experience on highways and city streets. For many potential buyers, this becomes a deal breaker, especially those who intend to use their truck for commuting, errands, or family trips rather than off-road adventures. Pricing is another major issue. In a segment dominated by value-conscious buyers, the Jeep Gladiator sits at the high end of the spectrum. A fully loaded Gladiator Rubicon or Mojave trim can easily cross the $60,000 United States dollars mark. By comparison, similarly equipped mid-sized trucks like the Toyota Tacoma, the Ford Ranger, and the Chevrolet Colorado often come in several $1,000s lower. Even base trims of the Gladiator are priced significantly higher than their competition. This pricing gap makes it difficult for the average buyer to justify choosing the Jeep Gladiator, unless off-road performance is a top priority. The market has responded accordingly. Since the year 2021, Jeep Gladiator sales have plummeted by more than 50%. That is not a small decline. It is a massive drop in a vehicle category that has otherwise remained relatively stable. Competitors have continued to refresh their offerings with updated platforms, more efficient powertrains, and advanced technology features. Meanwhile, the Jeep Gladiator has remained largely unchanged since its launch in the year 2019. That lack of evolution has further hurt its appeal. Walk into any Jeep dealership across the country, and you are likely to see a lineup of unsold Gladiators sitting idle. Some of these trucks have been on the lot for months, even as dealers roll out discounts and finance offers. Incentives are starting to grow, but they have not yet reached the aggressive levels seen with other struggling models. And even with cashback deals, many consumers still look at the Gladiator's harsh ride, poor fuel economy, and high sticker price as reasons to pass. Another problem is the disconnect between image and practicality. The Jeep Gladiator looks tough and adventurous, but its everyday usability is compromised. It has a longer wheelbase than the Jeep Wrangler, which reduces its off-road breakover angle and adds to its turning radius. Its fuel economy is worse than some full-size trucks, and while the removable roof and doors are fun in theory, they are features most owners will rarely use, especially those who live in urban or cold weather regions. Even the interior, while functional, feels outdated compared to rivals. The technology is serviceable, but not cutting edge. The cabin materials and layout feel more utilitarian than upscale. In a world where even mid-sized trucks are being upgraded with digital dashboards, wireless smartphone integration, and refined ergonomics, the Jeep Gladiator falls behind. And finally, let us talk about the truck that wore the crown until it priced itself out of its own kingdom. Ford F-150. With a legacy built on strength, dependability, and widespread brand loyalty, it earned its reputation as the go-to truck for everyone from rural ranchers to suburban families. It consistently outsold every other vehicle in its class, year after year, and it became an American icon in the process. But today, the landscape is shifting, and for the first time in recent memory, the King is showing cracks in its armor. At this very moment, Ford dealerships across the country are sitting on an astonishing surplus of Ford F-150 trucks. According to recent industry estimates, there are more than 120,000 unsold units of this once dominant model sitting on dealer lots. That figure is far beyond the healthy inventory threshold and suggests a deep disconnect between what Ford Motor Company is offering and what consumers are now willing to buy. So what happened? The answer lies in a combination of pricing, over complexity, and internal competition, each of which has steadily chipped away at the F-150's unbeatable status. For starters, pricing has skyrocketed. In its earlier generations, the F-150 was seen as a dependable, reasonably priced workhorse, but modern versions have transformed into high-tech, luxury-laden machines. Fully loaded trims, such as the Platinum and Limited, can now exceed $100,000 United States dollars before taxes, fees, or dealer markups. That price point places the F-150 squarely in the same tier as entry-level luxury sport utility vehicles and even some premium electric trucks. And for many traditional truck buyers, that's simply a bridge too far. Farmers, contractors, small business owners, and average working Americans who once relied on this truck for its no-nonsense utility are now priced out of the market. They are left wondering why they are being asked to pay luxury prices for features they never asked for, like hands-free driving, panoramic sunroofs, or massive touchscreen interfaces. At the same time, the Ford Motor Company has introduced newer models that unintentionally cannibalize its own flagship. The Ford Maverick, launched in the year 2021, has quickly become a favorite among budget-conscious truck shoppers. With its hybrid powertrain, compact size, and impressive functionality, it delivers enough capability for most everyday users at a starting price that is tens of thousands of dollars below even a mid-level F-150. Then there is the Ford Ranger, a mid-size option that offers solid towing, smaller dimensions for urban driving, and a more manageable cost for buyers who do not need the full heft of a traditional half-ton truck. As these alternatives gain popularity, the F-150 finds itself in an awkward middle ground, too expensive for entry-level buyers, and not unique enough to justify the cost for those looking at high-end luxury or electric models. Fuel economy has also become a sticking point. With fluctuating gas prices and rising environmental concerns, many consumers are seeking trucks with better mileage. Even the hybrid versions of the Ford F-150 struggle to match the efficiency of smaller competitors like the Ford Maverick or the Toyota Tacoma. The result, dealerships are struggling to move units. In response, they have rolled out a barrage of incentives, including steep markdowns, generous trade-in bonuses, 0% interest financing, and extended warranty packages. In many regions, buyers can now negotiate several thousands of dollars below the manufacturer's suggested retail price, especially on higher trims or older stock. For Ford, these offers are not just sales tactics. They are survival mechanisms aimed at clearing the growing backlog. Still, despite these efforts, the inventory remains stubbornly high. The L-150 is no longer the automatic choice it once was, and the competition, both from within Ford's lineup and from rival automakers, is fiercer than ever. The market has evolved, and so have consumer expectations. Buyers are looking for practicality, efficiency, and value. And unless Ford can realign the F-150 with those expectations, even the king of the road could continue to lose ground. Even the kings of the road are not safe anymore. The market has changed, and if you are smart, you will use this shift to your advantage. If you made it this far, you're ahead of the curve. Subscribe for more breakdowns like this, and leave a comment with the truck you think dealers are desperate to move. Appreciate you watching. See you in the next one.